Welcome everyone to our first ever Talk 122 podcast. This is your superintendent, Dr. Terrell Yarbrough. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited for us to have this opportunity to get information out to you. I'm here with Jason Blume, who's our Director of Equity and Community Engagement. So Jason, can you tell us a little bit about your role in that and how we push that information out?
Absolutely. I'm super excited to get this started. You know, as you said, we have a few different things that we've been working on in our department. Michael Stanley, our communications specialist, and myself have been, over the last few years, working on a few different things to improve communication within our district. And so, you know, that started with doing some website redesign. We've been doing 3 different newsletters over the past couple of years. We have an Inside 122 newsletter that goes out to all of our staff. We have Around 122 that goes out to staff and families. And then we have our alumni newsletter, which is something that's a little bit newer, but that obviously goes to our alumni and individuals that subscribe to that newsletter. We've also unveiled an app for the district, and we did that about 5 years ago, and so, you know, we've tried to do a few different things and be responsive to the ways that people want to be communicated with, and so this is just another opportunity for us to communicate with our staff and families. But the thing I'm most excited about with this opportunity is for you to be able to, for our staff and our families to be able just to see you and to get to know you a little bit, but also get to know other staff and individuals within our district and our community, and just to highlight the cool things happening and all the stuff that we're doing in this district and our students are doing, our staff are doing. So I'm really excited to add this to our kind of menu of communication tools that we use in the district.
Okay, I love it. No, that's a lot, and hopefully they're getting my good side while we're doing all of this. And so, if you would, when you think about our kids, you know, and the kids in the district who would see this podcast, tell them why would they even want to tune in?
Right. You know, I think there's a lot of awesome things happening in our districts. First and foremost, you know, we've got a new leader in you, and we're excited to have you as our superintendent. But I think for our kids, like, they're going to be able to see what some of the awesome things our fellow students are doing and what their fellow students are doing. We've got kids that are achieving amazing things, that are, you know, competing at really high levels, involved in a lot of clubs and organizations, both inside of school and outside of school. And so, you know, I think this is going to be an awesome way just to highlight and showcase some of the cool things our kids are doing in our schools, both all the way from elementary up to high school. And so I'm excited for them to see that and to hear the stories and the experiences of our students.
All right. Well, Jason, I really appreciate you coming on and sharing those things with our community. Hopefully I can get you on again at some point. But appreciate your time. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
I have Michael Stanley here with me. Mike, we're going to talk a little bit about just the creation of a podcast, what all goes into doing that. I've seen podcasts, you know, put together over the years. I've listened to them, you know, through, you know, Apple, all those things, but never really knew all the things that go into actually creating one. I think the public would be interested in that, and then we'll get a little bit into the why for this as well. So can you just describe to everyone just all the nuances it takes to even develop a podcast?
Yeah. Thank you for having me, Dr. Terrell. It's kind of an honor to be on the first episode of a podcast. And, you know, from the outset of when we started talking about this, I was super excited because I'm a big fan of podcasting. I've gone through audio production classes at Rock Valley, and you know, just a big audio fan, and there is a lot of work that goes with it. Just, you know, getting to the point, you know, just us sitting here talking, we had a couple of meetings. We talked about different ways we do it and different, you know, ideas with the name of the show and all that, and just the amount of technical work that goes in the background. We spend about 35 minutes getting set up, making sure the lighting looks good, making sure the graphics look good, the camera is set up, the audio is set up. So it's really intriguing to me of, you know, a small podcast or a short podcast, how much work it takes to just do this.
Okay. All right. No, and that's what you just described in just that short little time was overwhelming for me because I have no idea, half the things that went into it. But I do appreciate you explaining that. So when you think about a student who has a love for this, right, and would want to get into this, talk about that because you said Rock Valley. You went to Rock Valley, correct? And you kind of learned some things. So you got a student who's watching this and they want to get into podcasting. What would you suggest a way for them to start?
Well, the tools are out there. I mean, even starting with just set up your phone between your two friends, just talking about things you love. I mean, and that's the thing about podcasting. And as a fan of podcasters, I find that I connect with people that, are connected to what they're talking about. So us talking about students and about production and all that, that's what I love as a creative communication specialist for the district. I love, design graphics and helping out, setting up lights and setting up audio equipment. It's just getting started and looking at your local colleges or even the high school. The high school has a great, program with the HNN and the vet doc. It's incredible the amount of opportunity that's out there. And also, as a person who's worked professionally, as my current capacity, but also as a person who worked at a local television station, how in the last couple of years, audio production used to just studio, used to have all this equipment, all these mixing boards, and now we're here in the school board office, 35 minutes to set up, and we have a podcast studio. And that, just, looking into it, it's what I like to call the democratization of podcasting and media. And we're seeing, the different avenues like podcasts. Anyone can set up a podcast, get on Spotify, Apple, podcasts. Anyone can set up a YouTube channel now. So like the gap between professional and somebody just getting into it gets smaller every day.
Okay. So earlier, I had on Mr. Jason Blume, talked a little bit about just the different menu options of how we communicate, with the community. So now you work closely with Jason, right?
Yes. He's my direct supervisor. So we're literally, our desks, we can see each other. I look up and we talk back and forth, So yeah, me and Jason work together providing the district with its newsletters, be it a Inside 122 or internal one, or Around 122 or external one, even our new one, the alumni. Also, we work on many different projects, so like video projects, obviously the podcast, but different programs and highlighting the great things that are happening with our students, with our staff, and with our community in general. It's a really cool thing to bring that to light. And what I like to say is tear down the walls and just open up the doors and show them what we're doing.
Okay, and thank you for that smooth transition, if I say so myself, is because that's really the intent of this podcast, is some of the things that you just said, is to really highlight a lot of the good things that we're doing throughout the district. Doesn't matter which school, we're going to highlight it. Doesn't matter what area, we're going to highlight it, and just be positive and just show the community that whether it's athletics, whether it's academics, song, dance, we have a lot of great things going on within the Harlem School District. And so I thank you for being on, and hopefully I can have you back again.
Definitely, I would be more than happy to come in and talk about what we're doing in the background.
All right, appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you.
So as you can see, this was a quick introduction to our first ever Talk 122 podcast with your superintendent, Dr. Terrell Yarbrough. I appreciate all the hard work that everyone behind the scenes has done and will continue to do to bring you this information, specifically Michael Stanley, who was on earlier today, Mr. Nick Stange and Mr. Nick Talon, also behind the scenes, are doing a wonderful job in bringing you this information. This will be a platform where we're going to have students on, we're going to have staff on, community leaders, and just highlight the wonderful things that is going on in our community. I can't wait for future episodes and for us to get rolling with how all of that's going to look. I'm excited because I am Harlem, you are Harlem, we are Harlem. Take care, everybody.